Eu estava com meu bom amigo. E meu bom amigo, ele está fazendo uma faxina. E o homem que estava o dono desta casa, ele estava de Egito. E também ele tem uma esposa que foi alemã. Mas a esposa, ela não estava mais neste mundo. E meu irmão, meu amigo que estava fazendo faxina, ele tem uma irmã. E a irmã estava mais ou menos bonitinha. Assim, o dono da casa, que não pode falar português, mas pode falar árabe, alemão e também inglês, e estava um professor de matemáticas e física, assim um homem muito inteligente. Ele pediu à mulher brasileira, ele pediu: ei, minha mulher, você pode casar-se comigo? Okay, what I'm saying here is that I was with my friend and he was in the house cleaning business. So I went with him and we were going to clean this house, or he was going to clean the house. Maybe the guy had some plumbing. I can't remember what I was doing. Maybe I was just walking around, but I had something to do there. The guy had something to repair. But it turns out that this guy was a math professor. He was a math and physics professor, and he was from Egypt, and his wife was German. Well, the guy passed away. I spoke at his funeral. You know, he left me this book. Well, he left me several books in Arabic, and he left me some German books also. Now, this is a book that right now I cannot read, but hope springs eternal. And here's the point before I go out there and run. There was a fight that was going to occur. I don't think it way back in the day. I don't know if it was Sugar Ray Leonard, or it was Sugar Ray Leonard versus maybe Thomas Hearns. And they were both getting old, and back in the day, old to me was like somebody in their 30s. And so they were getting old, and so I think it was Teddy Atlas, I don't remember the fighting commentator, but he said, hey, you know what? These guys are so old that you can time their punches, that you have to time their punches with a sundial. So I tell this story to young guys. One day, when I was right around 35 and 3 months old, I'm out there on the sporting field, and I'm reaching for the ball. I can see the ball, smell the ball, taste the ball, but I just cannot touch it anymore. And so what happened is it appeared that one day I woke up and my fast twitch reflexes were gone. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about this book that an Egyptian who was married to a German gave me before he died. The man, he was terrifying to me because he was so old. Maybe he was 80, 90 years old, I don't know. But he was still living an active life, and he was still teaching at the university and all of that. But he was not who he was when he was a young man. So, this process is now happening to me. And so I have to ask myself, cada dia, por que eu vou embora? Por que eu vou afora? o casa a correr. So I have to say, oh, porque me voy otra vez al piso a correr. When I know that every day that passes, I'm slower than the day before. Yeah, I'm slower than the day before. So it's the same thing with this book. I don't have time in life to have Arabic. I don't have time. I don't have time in life to have anything anymore. But here's the key. We have to act as if we are going to live for eternity. And that's not an idle concept, because in fact we do live for eternity. If your debate is about individual consciousness, then in terms of individual consciousness, okay, one consciousness stops, another consciousness continues. But what about the DNA? So this is how I look at life now. Time doesn't start until man understands DNA. All of the things that were said in the past to me are basically philosophy, which is important because, as I told you, it animates things and it tells you how to live. But when you reach the point that you have DNA, then you don't need philosophy, you don't need religion, you don't need physics, because what are you doing when you have physics? You're looking out into space, looking for God. I know Richard Dawkins and his crew are going to say they're not, but that's what they're doing. When you watch a movie, TV, or whatever, you're looking for God. And what happens is, and I'm going to get back to the DNA, but this looking for God is what we all do. In every holy word, there's always a time when a God takes on flesh and goes down and meets man. He has a child with a woman, or he forms a man out of dust, but it's always a God who comes down to the mortal plane and meets with a man. So one of the reasons that we have language is in case God comes down and speaks to us, we will know how to speak with him correctly. And that's why with language you always have to be on your best behavior and use your best language, because you never do know. You just might be speaking to God. So with DNA, where we see that we're nothing but a continuation of the original life form that sprang into being somewhere. When? I don't know. Where? I don't know. How? I don't know. But it sprang into being, and it replicated and speciated. Well, that's good. It replicated and speciated. So you're going to ask yourself, well, why didn't it just replicate and become one continuous, all-absorbing form? Well, because the planets, the stars, the universe are a big centrifuge. So there might be gold over here. There might be potassium over there. There might be oxygen over here. There might be helium over there. It's gonna, every element in the universe, in star systems, in planets, are distributed randomly. So in biology, you call these random distributions niches. So that one singular life form started in one niche, but to exploit the other niches, it had to speciate. So we're all only one thing. We're that it, whatever it was. That's what we are. So in the mythology where you meet God and he tells you the key to eternal life, when you look in the mirror, you meet that God. So do you have time to enhance your Spanish with Arabic? No, you don't. But do it anyway.